Alright, this will be my first review, and as you can see, it's Boba Fett. This is from Hasbro's Star Wars Black Series. I guess we could start out by talking about the line itself. For years now, Star Wars figures have been 3 3/4 inches. By that I mean 3.75 inch figures, G.I. Joe size figures. Here's a traditional size Star Wars figure for size comparison. Little Darth Vader there. That's kind of been the standard for years and years now, since the Star Wars action figure lines first started. They've always been that size. So that was kind of the big deal with this line, with the Black Series. There is a Black Series line of 3 3/4 inch figures. This is not one of them. This is an older Darth Vader. But the real breakout was obviously these guys. These are the first 6-inch Star Wars figures. And as you can see, they packed in loads of detail. This is just the way I've got them posed on my shelf. I'm not gonna go too crazy with showing off articulation, just because I am a fan of my figures having tight joints, and I don't want to go busting them up and getting them loose. But I will show it off a little bit, just obviously as part of the review. But yeah, with the beginning of Star Wars figures, they were pretty much little dinky guys that did not have much articulation beyond moving their legs and arms forward and back, swiveling at their wrists and swiveling their heads. But there was a shit ton of them. It was like, that was the big thing with Star Wars figures. There was a figure of like everybody. So now, like, with the Black Series, we're starting from scratch and collecting figures that you probably already have, but much bigger size and much more articulation and detail. Around the time of episode 2, I think they started to really change up the style of the 3 3/4 inch figures, adding some articulation to them and gimmicks and features. Magnetic hands with metal lightsaber hilts to use the Force. Just little gimmicky things like that. Force lightning attachments. Squeezing legs with arm swinging action. Different things like that never existed in Star Wars figures. But these guys are pretty much for collectors. These guys aren't really meant... anyone can play with them, but obviously these are geared towards collectors. So, his kind of default pose... Get him going here. His accessories that he comes with, not too much. I never even knew that Boba Fett had this pistol. Never seen him use that before. So it's nice he's got a holster. Just kind of tuck that away. I'm a sucker for those kinds of things. Even if I'll never have him holding it, just the fact that he's got a holster that I can have him put that in, I love it. And his signature rifle. Just gonna leave that in there. Backpack is removable, so I guess that kind of counts as an accessory. No removable helmet. It's just his head. But I mean, damn, that's just a gorgeous ass figure. I mean, Boba Fett he's always been popular just because of who he is, what he looks like, his style. He's just a badass. He's just that mystery man. Became popular, nobody knew anything about him. But he just looks so damn cool. Look at that helmet. He's a badass. And this figure totally shines with that. For his articulation, he's got a ball joint here in his head. Full 360-degree motion on his head. A lot of figures of the Fetts will have their antenna be able to, like, move down. This one doesn't bother with it because They probably knew no one was going to bother posing him like that, so it's just there. His arms, we got some, full 360-degree motion, able to move in and out, hindered a little bit by his shoulder pad, so you can't go too nuts with it. Awesome. No bicep swivel, but this elbow swivel joint, and kind of like a ratcheted joint in there almost. He's got wrist pivot. Gorgeous, especially with his flamethrower right there. I'm going to have to fiddle with getting him back in the pose I had him in. But yeah, and you could just pull that down a little bit. Just awesome. Looks like he's actually aiming a flamethrower with that. Badass. He does have an ab crunch, kind of. Hindered a little bit by the armor. Can crunch a little bit. Can swivel. The belt is actually, I don't think this comes off, but that's an extra piece. That's not molded onto him. So the belt is independent. Legs can move all the way around, but, his belt is kind of limiting it. He does have a thigh swivel here. And he has a double knee joint, which is always nice. That extra range of motion there. He does have an ankle pivot, and his foot can go forward and back. So he has a lot of articulation. It would probably move more if my guy was looser, but realistically, I like it that way. I don't want him to be loosey-goosey, because then they don't hold their poses, they fall, He's got these Wookiee pelts molded onto him. All signature Boba Fett stuff. And cloth cape, oh my god, this blew me away. Because this was totally something that has always been just plastic molded on there. And when Black Series went in, it's just tucked in there. You don't have to worry about it. It's not coming out unless you're going to be a beast with it. But it's just rinky-dink cloth. It's got the frayed, tattered edges. So it actually looks like, he's been out, seen some shit. It's just cool. Just these little touches like that are just badass. I don't have the packaging anymore. I mean, I'm sure I do. I just don't know where it's at. Otherwise, I would show off the packaging. There's not much to it. Black box. It looks nice. It looks stylish, and they really put some, some thought into presentation with the whole Black Series thing. But yeah, this guy's a badass. I love him. I have other guys in the line. I have a couple of others. I don't think I'll show those guys yet, because those are possible review material. But awesome figure. One thing I will say about the Black Series, though, is anyone who's got like a helmet is usually spot on awesome. Stormtroopers. That's my girlfriend calling me. I guess that will happen when you're not planning this. Okay, so as far as, like I was saying, figures that have helmets and stuff, they look spot on, perfect. Anyone who has a face that's visible, though, kind of been hit or miss. The Luke Skywalkers have been hit or miss. The first one that came out was really good. Then there was, I think it was Bespin Luke. That was kind of me. Characters that came out like Obi-Wan, just they're kind of shit piece looking. But then you'll have ones that look really good, like Han. Like Han was awesome. He looks great. And then, you know, like R2-D2, Stormtroopers, Vader. Obviously, they're all going to look awesome because there's no, like, human likeness they have to capture. So sometimes the Black Series does good with capturing a person's likeness. And sometimes it's like, it's a pass. I wouldn't say I would pick up every figure that's in this line, but so far, a lot of them have been really good. I do have, like I said, I have a couple myself. There's a bunch that I would like to get. They've just been really tough to find. But they're decently priced. They're pretty readily available. It's not like you have to go to a specialty shop or a comic shop to get these guys. Most places like Targets, Toys R Us's, even like CVS's will have them. There's an exclusive prototype Boba Fett with the all-white armor that was available through Walgreens, because for some reason Walgreens keeps getting exclusive figures. I don't have that here, but from my understanding, that might be in my collection soon. I'm looking forward to that. He'll probably stay packaged up, though. Most of the times, I will have my figures out. I like to play with them, you know, by fiddling with their poses, getting them on display. But sometimes if I know that it's a rare collectible, you see, his leg's getting a little loose. Getting a little loose here, don't like that. Okay, I'm going to stop messing with him now. But yeah, if I know it's a rare figure, something like an exclusive figure, I'll usually leave it alone in its packaging. Like these guys. That's a variant. That's just a tough to find figure, so. But then for like the two that I have in the packaging, we'll have like, wham! A whole shit ton of them not in their packaging. But, yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously, I love the figure. I won't say that every figure that's in my collection I love, because there are some misses. But, Black Series Boba Fett gets a thumbs up. Awesome figure. Most figures in the Black Series line, I would say thumbs up. But, this guy's a badass. Alright, so that's going to pretty much wrap up this first review. I mean, we covered some articulation, some shit about the figure line itself, accessories, little details. Pretty good. I mean, if you don't have an idea of whether or not you like this figure right now, I mean, I don't know what the hell else I could tell you to convince you. But if you have other questions, let me know. If you got suggestions, let me know. And we'll go from there. Alright, cool. Latest.